So, hi guys. I'm so happy that you joined. Today is not a hot beverage chat, right? I have a lemonade. What do you guys drink?
Devita.
Nice.
It's a hot day, so
Yeah, understandable. So, thank you so much for joining. And I would just can you introduce yourselves? Who are you?
we're Rok and Katarina.
Yeah.
We're a couple who likes to travel a lot.
Too much, in opinion of some people.
Is it the opinion of your parents, maybe? Usually the parents are like, stay at home a bit.
Yeah,
we like adventure, outdoor nature, lots of animals, climbing,
a lot of climbing.
So that's like, if somebody like follows us, they know, they see most of these things actually.
Yes, it's true. I would agree with all that, and also I would add that Rok, you do photography also.
That's true.
So that's good, and that you have a blog. That's actually how we met, because you post about your adventures and everything you do on your social media and your website.
Yeah, that's true.
So maybe you
can the most important thing, right?
Maybe you can translate. What does it mean? Lahkih, naokrog.
Oh, I don't know, because it's actually from a poem, like children's poem. Yes. Like we once put this exact phrase in Google Translate, and it gave us the translation of footloose. Although, yeah, I'm not sure it's the best one, but it means like, yeah, going around, like relaxed or like easy going around would be like explanation. But yeah, footloose.
Yeah, that's what I imagine it also. Lahkih, naokrog. It's like to be just exploring the world really easily and with open mind, and just to to not have too many plans. So
maybe.
Yeah. So like on your blog, you are sharing so much about your adventures. It's really a huge library for everyone who wants to travel. You share tips and tricks. Which one of you deals mostly with that? Who is the one that writes? How do you share the work?
I'm doing most, like 99.9% of writing.
Okay.
There are just a few blog posts that Rok wrote, but that was mostly at the beginning when I managed to like persuade him to write something.
Okay.
He will write one blog post soon, probably, because he's been building climbing wall outside in our garden. So he decided to write about it, like the process, because many people are asking about this. So that's one of the blog posts that will be written by him. But otherwise, yes, I'm writing.
That's maybe the fifth.
Yeah, maybe. Or fourth. Yeah, I'm doing the writing, and mostly he's doing photography. So he's like taking photos, editing photos, resizing photos for the blog.
Okay. And where did the idea for the blog came from? Was it mostly at the beginning, like to share, or maybe just to have your own like online diary of your travels, or did you have any other goal that you wanted to achieve?
At that point, when we started, it was just the idea, because it was the time when I started planning trips a bit differently, not just following Lonely Planet, but I started Googling a little bit and I found other blogs. And I was like, hey, we also have a lot of ideas, or not really ideas, like tips, so, like experiences. So we could just write them somewhere, because many people were asking us like, oh, how did you get from there to there? How can you afford travel? Where do you find all these cheap tickets and stuff like that? So the general idea, I mean, my original idea was just to, also share or give back, because I learned a lot from like many different blogs, and I just wanted to put it together from our trip. And I think for Rok, it was a bit different motivation, you can tell.
I don't know if you're thinking the same thing, but let's try.
Okay.
It was like a lot of people at home were asking us all the time, where are you, what are you doing, are you fine, and stuff like that. So it was basically an answer to that. So we would post a few pictures on our blog during that time, so we would have peace during travel.
Like a check-in, we're alive, we're okay, just don't worry.
Something like this, yeah.
Yeah, it became quite, I mean, not really annoying, maybe time consuming and also expensive when we started traveling outside Europe, because like my family, they were texting me, like one day my sister texted me, the other day my dad, the other day my mom, like, where are you, how are you, what have you been doing? And you know, I'm not the person who just says I'm fine, you know. Then I always wrote like, today we were there, today we saw this and that, you know. So then I had to send the messages to every person, and we said, okay, blog can be a place where they can read all, and you know.
So basically you were doing a mini blog on your phone, like texting them.
Yeah, all the time. So
well, and what was the age when you guys started traveling?
That's a difficult one. I mean,
together maybe.
Yeah.
So Katarina, you are more travel oriented, right? You have bigger like.
Yeah, like I mean, I blame my parents. Like my mom and my dad. I mean, both of them actually. They also traveled a lot even before I was born. And when I was born, I was their first child. So I think I was 9 months old or something. They decided to go on a road trip to Stockholm, to Sweden, because some relatives lived there or just moved there. Okay. So that was my first trip. I don't remember it, but I guess it may have affected me somehow. Yeah. Yeah, and then later also, I mean, we were always doing some trips, shorter trips around like neighboring countries. And then I remember one like milestone was when also my parents decided to travel to Paris, like the whole family by car again, because my mom is afraid of flights or planes. So we were always traveling by car. And at that time, we were already 4 kids. And I mean, if we would now have kids and did the same thing, my mom would be like, you are crazy. But now I'm thinking like my little sister was also 5 months old and we drove all the way to Paris. And at that time it was some SARS or something, like also some flu, like spreading around. It wasn't as bad as in the past 2 years, but there was also something going on. But anyways, we went to Paris to also visit some relatives. And yeah, that Paris trip also gave me like, oh, okay, there are other countries and other places to see, not just Croatia and Italy, you know. Right. Yeah, and then I was just like wanting more and more. And first then like pushing my parents to, you know, we shouldn't just go to Croatia for 2 weeks together. Like, let's go somewhere else, you know.
And what was the first trip you took without your parents? And did you go, with who did you go?
You went to Ireland.
I'm thinking, I mean, there were certain excursions, like school trips that I did organized. So Ireland was also organized by school. Like, I think the first one non-organized, I mean, like not by school or something. I guess it was we called it Eurozug rucksack trip. Like,
oh, that's so cool.
I don't know if you speak German, but it was like what's the English word? Maturanski is like the trip after the high school. Yeah. Most of the people go to Greece and they just drink for 1 week. And there were a group of like my schoolmates, and we didn't want to just drink. We wanted to see something. So we decided to buy Interrail train ticket and go like a little bit around Europe. So
nice. Yeah. Really cool. Yeah. And what about you, Rok? How did you get into traveling?
Well, I married very well. No, we didn't travel that much. We did go like neighboring countries, and we also went to Switzerland. Once we did go to Greece, but
that was after you.
That was after I met you, yeah. But I guess that my traveling wish started with Katarina asking me, I'm going to Australia, are you going with me? And I said yes. And that was when
I said yes.
Yes. I actually saw that. I saw that blog post that Katarina, you were really excited that you got to Australia because it was like your dream of since you were a kid. And yeah, Rok's first, was it your first, right? Airplane ride.
Yeah.
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 Really nice.
First one and around, I mean, to the other
So
side of the
it
world.
was first one and the longest one, maybe, I don't know. And it was like you know, the two-story plane. I haven't flown with this one like ever since.
Never after that trip, yeah.
Wow. So now we talked a bit about your beginnings, but like right now you are already such an experienced travelers. So maybe we can talk about like you traveled in so many countries, in so many continents. So maybe I can ask you like, what's your country count? Do you count your countries in how many countries you've been to?
I don't, but she does.
Yeah, I mean, I used to count like really every country and know at every moment what is the number, but then I kind of stopped. So now I should count again or think again. I remember that my 70th country was Colombia when we were traveling in South America. So now it's something like over 70, but I don't know exactly. It's not 80 yet, because again, probably I would remember, I don't know, somewhere there.
Yeah, I will post over the video the map that you have on your website, so people can visually see like to how many countries you've been to, because it's really a lot. And I don't know, like one of the things I want to really talk about is you guys overlanded South America, and I want to know, how was the experience for you? You were there for 9 months, right? And it just looked so cool, all the things I checked that you posted. And yeah, just tell me your experience. How did you come up with the idea? How was the realization of it and stuff like that?
It was life-changing.
Oh, wow. Why?
I mean, because you don't experience something like this in your everyday life, like ever. It's not possible. So, and we didn't know what we're, you know, bring this trip, and it's like a little bit a leap of faith, just like leaving a job and then going. But like as soon as we got, I remember it was like one tunnel. A friend of us picked us up in Santiago de Chile, and we were driving, and I was like, shit, this is happening. I don't have, you know, I don't have a plane ticket back. So this is like really like free time, you know. And we were traveling like the whole time. We didn't like we didn't stop, you know, for a longer period somewhere or something. But we just kept on going, which was like very
intense.
You were like on schedule. And was it difficult to write the blog while traveling so much and moving so much? How did you?
Yeah, there wasn't actual schedule or anything, but we're just like, you know, one day we're here, and then like at the end of the day we're like, yeah, okay, let's go. You know, even if it's like really awesome, but still, you know.
Yeah, this is nice. Okay, let's go to another nice place. Okay, Katarina, how was for you? Like, who came up with the idea? How do you come up for an idea like this?
Okay, I think they are my how do you say, colleagues from faculty to blame for this trip. In the 4th year of our studies, we were like divided into smaller groups, like kind of specialized, you know, like what we wanted to study. And in our group, there were, I think, just 6 people or something, just the extreme nerds. Like we chose the most difficult subjects. Anyways, and I was like the loud one. I was always the one to communicate with professors or whatever. So at the end of the year, they gave me like a small gift, you know, like thank you for organizing or like dealing with all the stuff. And it was a gift like 100 travel ideas or something like this. And it's a book that usually I don't like this kind of books, because they are very superficial. Like they just tell you, oh yeah, very awesome place there, you know. And yeah, I just went through, and then there was like an idea for the trip, Pan American Highway. And it said you need at least 3 months. And I was like, oh, that's impossible, you know, like no one can take like 3 months to travel, and it's like obviously too long to really travel.
Here you are. Okay, we're gonna talk about
and then I told Rok, you know, like about, oh, look at this idea, and he was like, oh, that sounds really interesting. I was like, what, you know, like really? So then we slowly started talking about it, and we said after I finished my PhD, we will like, you know, have a break with our careers and go to to do the Pan American Highway. In the end, we didn't wait until my PhD because it took longer than I expected. And we also didn't do the Pan American Highway, we did just South America.
Yeah, because Pan American Highway starts in Alaska, right?
Yeah, and goes all the way through, North America, Central America, and South America.
And it's you would need maybe 2 years for this.
Yes.
Even with our pace of traveling.
I heard that like three months is calculated just on the average of how fast the car, like if you would be just driving all day.
Yeah.
And probably just, going straight down. Yeah.
Like no side trips.
Yeah. No Brazil, no nothing.
Okay, so you arrived to Chile first. Chile was your first destination. And how was the procedure of buying a car there? Because you didn't buy a van, right? It was like, was it an SUV? Like it was a big car.
Yeah, like a 4x4 SUV. Yeah, we never wanted a van, sorry.
No, it actually makes sense for Latin America that you have a 4x4. It's so much more accessible.
Yeah, we wanted something smaller and smaller than a van, and something that can easily like kind of blend in. Although when you are traveling, you have things that people know that you are a traveler. But anyways, we didn't want like a big shiny van or like, with stickers, follow us on Instagram. So yeah, that was one thing that we knew from the beginning. We want a 4x4. Rok did a research which cars would be like appropriate for us. And then also we just chose, what was available at that time,
we were looking through actually Facebook, and there's a community there. They sell cars. People who travel, they stop traveling and then they sell the car.
Yeah.
Also in South America and in Chile, this is very easy to do, and we found a couple who wanted to sell the car, and it was perfect. So
nice.
they actually left the car for us in one place, and we just transferred them the money when we got there, but they already left, so they basically just gave us the car. So
they were a bit nervous, but
yeah.
I'm very happy that they trusted us, and the car was really great. So it turned out very well, like very good decision get that car. Yeah, it was a Toyota 4Runner. It's a car that you can't buy here in Europe. It's like an American car. It's like Land Cruiser, a bit smaller, I think. Yeah, very capable 4x4. The procedure, actually, it's very easy to buy a car in Chile as a foreigner. So basically, people who buy cars in South America, they either buy Chilean cars or they buy US, like American cars, with some remote title transfer. Like there's one guy who is specialized in transferring and dealing with this stuff. Okay. We went with the Chilean option because we could do it on our own. So first we needed a Chilean tax number. In Chile, we still have the tax number. We are seen as investors because we are kind of investing in the country because we bought the car, and with that tax number, you can just go to like any of these offices. They call it notaria, and just do the paperwork, pay the taxes, and that's it.
And you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we were full owners. I was the owner of the car. So yeah, it was really, the car was in my name, which is a lot easier for border crossings.
Okay, now if we talk about those 9 months that you spent there, what were like the most amazing things, and maybe also the things that were so good that surprised you, whatever that could be, and what were the biggest just shitty things that happened to you, and like things that you really didn't, that you wanted them to be gone?
Well, the shitty things we forget. We tend to forget.
That's amazing.
After some time, you just remember the good stuff. So, which is kind of, beautiful minds of people. But the thing that, for example, surprised me like a lot was Salar de Uyuni in Bolivia, which is like the touristy place. But still, we went to this place of this salar, which is like really huge, you know, and it was covered like in 2 centimeters of water, and you know there was like the sunset, and then the stars lit up, and you know if you have like just a little bit of water, you have a mirror which is like stars, and then stars up and below and everywhere, which is like it was magic. It surprised me a lot. I didn't know I would experience something like this. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm thinking, whenever people tell me or ask me about like the favorite or the best place in South America, I usually go with Venezuela. But probably because it was also the last country we visited, so it's, I don't know, the memory is still maybe fresher than from the other countries. We went to see the Salto Angel Falls in English. It's the highest waterfall or the tallest waterfall with almost 1 kilometer of the height. The waterfall itself is really beautiful. But what I remember more is the drive or how we got there, because this place is like in the middle of Venezuelan jungle. There are no roads to get there. So you need to fly with a small plane, like for 10, maybe 15 people. I'm not afraid of flying, but I didn't like that. It was an open cabin, so we could all see what the pilot was doing. So I was like, if someone wants to hijack this plane, I can do it. Even I can do it, you know. Yeah. And then when we were landing, the guy wasn't landing like straight to the, but it was a little bit like this, you know, and then you can see my hand. But anyways, it was like scary to land there. Anyways, and after getting there by plane, we took kind of a canoe, and it was like 3 more hours on the river. And this river part was like beautiful. There was a river, and on the both sides, there were table mountains. They call it Tepuy. And from those table mountains, there were several waterfalls already on the way. Like you can imagine, if you've seen the photos of
several is like, you know, you see 100 waterfalls.
All the time. Like, you know, it's like a parade, you know, of waterfalls. And then there were like some clouds, or a bit, like it was a bit misty. And at certain points, the top of the mountain was in the clouds. So it looked like, you know, the waterfall is actually falling from the clouds. Or in some cases, clouds were at the bottom. So it looked like waterfalls are falling in the clouds, or both. Really, for me, it felt like this is heaven, you know.
Yeah, it does sound magical. Wow.
Yeah.
You know, the whole South America, I think, is like very extreme continent. So you have jungles, you have 6,000, 7,000 meters. You know, it's extremes on
in all
ends.
directions.
And it surprised me also in this sense. And you have, you know, on north you have Venezuela, and then you have this Andes, you know, the mountains, they go like all the way to the south to Patagonia, and they define like a lot during this, you know.
Yeah, for me that was also one of the things to see. I really like geography, or kind of. I like it like in person. To see it in person. It was really interesting to see how the Andes affect, like in Chile. So there is Pacific coast or Pacific Ocean, Chile, and then there are Andes on the border with Argentina. Mm-hmm. And Chile is very green, very wet. They even have rainforest. It's like not tropical because it's so much in the south, but it's called rainforest, and it's like really wet. And then you just cross the Andes. On the other side, there's Argentina, completely dry. Like they call it pampe, like dry land, just some grasses, no trees, nothing. So you really see how, you know, the clouds can't cross the Andes. They get stuck on the Chilean side. So yeah, it was really amazing.
Yeah, we were also like maybe surprised. I don't know. We didn't think about it actually, but we met the nicest people there. In South America, like in Brazil specifically, and also like how people react to foreigners, or maybe how they react to other people. It's very defined by where they live. For example, in Peru, you have, you know, by the coast, and then you have the highlands, and then you have the jungle, and these like 3 completely different attitudes to people. To tourists and to everybody. So it's, I don't know, it affects, you know, it affects the traveler, you know, when you
The way, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so people who live in harsher conditions turned out to be less friendly or less open to foreigners. They told us that like you need a week to make a friend in Altiplano, in these highlands of Peru or Bolivia, and you need a day or even less to make a friend down in the Amazonian jungle, like closer to Brazil.
Yeah, those are huge differences.
Mm.
Well, before you mentioned that, Rok, you actually quit your job to go to this for this trip, and we didn't. Or no? Did I?
Well, I had a kind of agreement I would come back.
Mm-hmm. But you did stop like you stopped your full-time job for the time.
Yeah, I stopped it. Well, I stopped it. Yeah. I thought I quit, but they actually expected me to come back.
And did you go back?
Yeah, I did, but I didn't know that. So
they were waiting for him after 6 months, you know, and we traveled for 9 months, and then, you know, after we came back, also he didn't go back right away. So.
It was a little bit misunderstanding here, but Katarina actually quit.
Yeah, and I actually quit my job. I also asked if we can, like, you know, just agree on some unpaid leave, but yeah, they weren't very happy about it. I guess they were even less happy about it when I, you know, actually quit.
Yeah. Can you guys tell what your professions are? Because we didn't mention this. What do you guys do?
Yeah, I'm an architect.
This always sounds so funny. I used to watch How I Met Your Mother. Do you know it?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's an architect. I don't know, there was a joke about architects. Anyways, yeah, and I have a PhD in biochemistry and molecular biology. So yeah.
Okay. So like I think you already see where I'm going with my next question, and that is since right now you both work, right, full time?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Just to get my facts straight. And how can you afford to travel still so much? Do you take vacation, or like is your job super flexible to take longer periods to travel?
No, I mean, we are back to normal life with fixed amount of free or vacation days per year. Mm-hmm. Yeah, then I think it depends where you work. I mean, I've changed quite a few jobs in the past years, but at the moment I can use like extra hours to take a day off. So that's something that we can use, or I can use to get some more time for traveling. Or longer weekends and this stuff. I mean, we try to really, you know, use the weekends or some holidays to go somewhere. It's not easy, especially once, I mean, after we experienced how it is to travel for a longer period, it's difficult to go back. I mean, I still want to travel and like, I want to make a trip here and there and I want to travel everywhere. But yeah, then this calculating the days and how much, you know, how long a trip can be that we can still go for another trip in a few months, you know, not to use it once a year. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, at least for me, you know, because yeah, now when I think about another trip, I think about it like we traveled in South America, like, oh, we have enough time, we'll have a car, we'll go there, see this. And then it's like, no, we just have, I don't know, 2, maybe 3 weeks. No, we have to just limit to one area or one part of this country. So yeah, it takes some time.
For me, it's a little bit more flexible. I think I don't have actually a day count, but it's I actually adapt to her. So.
Nice.
So it's a little bit easier, yeah, because you don't have to combine, like, or maybe, you know, calculate on both ends all the way. So
okay. So what you mean is like you're more project, or like when you have a project you're working on and then you can be flexible about when you work for that project and you can.
Yeah, well, you know, in architecture, the projects, they take a lot of time. I mean, they stretch during, and they can take 2 years, for example. And it's, you know, you take vacation, you know, it's not dependent on the project. You just don't take a vacation when it's like a deadline or something, but otherwise it doesn't affect it that much, I would say. Because if I would go only like after the project is finished, I wouldn't go like anymore. So because usually I have like another one waiting. So
I see. My follow-up question was, have you ever considered of making a like full income just for traveling?
Not really. I mean, I get the I mean, for me, it's not about let's check it. General question answer, no, because I'm afraid. I mean, when something is a job, it's a job. It gets annoying, it gets overwhelming, you feel pressured, and I don't want to feel pressured while traveling. So general, that's why no, I mean, or I'm afraid to even think about it. But when I'm thinking about blogging and what can we do like better, or how we can like how the blog can evolve, then I start googling and I find like tips and tricks and what should be done, and these are things from like professional travel bloggers. So then there's so much work to do, like so many things that I should do, that I don't have time for that, because I have like my normal job, traveling, blogging, and other stuff in my life. So it gets already overwhelming. So at that times I have to like step back and think, okay, this is just like a side business, or like,
right? Yeah, that's good.
It's not my job. I mean, yeah,
I think you answered well. Yeah, and I guess also you both like your jobs, right? You are both passionate about what you are doing.
Yeah, of course.
I really like biochemistry. I might be a geek, but it's really interesting.
I think that changes a lot, because if you like what you do, then you already find the job that you like. So it's pretty nice.
Yeah, but because it's a job, it's like sometimes, or
of
many
course,
times
everything is sometimes just you don't want to do it, no matter what and how nice it is.
Exactly, yeah.
I wanted to ask you guys, how were you dealing with traveling during Corona times? Was it very painful for you that you couldn't travel? How did that look like?
Well, we actually traveled a lot, but just like in Slovenia. So,
okay.
So it wasn't that painful. But also we didn't, during pandemic, we didn't get this kind of feeling of being trapped or whatever that I think a lot of people actually had.
Okay.
So we didn't feel pressured like to go somewhere, but still we went to a lot of places and discovered a lot of things in Slovenia that we didn't know it existed before. And we're actually, you say you're gonna go to, I don't know, neighboring countries when you don't have time to go somewhere like actually in the world, but so this was the time that we're grateful for, to explore our country.
Yeah.
And we don't have like the time to do it now, or whatever. So
yeah, I think, I mean, we came back from our South American trip like that fall. Before then, half a year later the whole lockdown started and stuff. And we also traveled a little bit like in winter before the whole thing started. So we really didn't, feel like
you had your batteries recharged, your travel batteries were full, and you were like, okay.
Yeah, we were actually very happy to be at home, to have time to spend like with our pets, because it was very difficult, at least for me, like to leave our cat and our bunny at home for 9 months. So it was great to kind of get this time back. We worked both from home, we were home all the time, so it was a special time. I mean, also for us to it was really nice.
Yeah, I mean, that makes so much more sense now that you said that you just came from like a 9-month trip, and also you traveled a bit in winter. Then of course the pandemic started and you were probably like, let me just relax. Rok was like, I need to edit some photos, so it's fine.
Yeah, like 35,000 for them.
And what do you have any like future plans, any countries that are on your wish list to visit?
Maybe Rok can tell his before, because probably there are less in his list.
Mine.
Let's see.
Or he doesn't have a list.
No, I don't know. We have a list, but for now, I think first we're gonna go somewhere for like a real holiday, so not traveling, which would involve swimming in beaches.
In which country? Croatia?
No, not Croatia.
That's still too close.
But it's going to be like Turkey's water, probably. So in
We
Croatia,
just need some holidays.
Yeah. We still don't know exactly where, but not Croatia. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Croatia.
It's just too close. It's not pandemic anymore, so
Yeah,
can
okay.
go.
Maybe Greece.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. So first you need the holidays to recharge.
Yeah. Because it's been happening like a lot of things right now, and we just don't have the time to live actually. So, so we need to kind of, cut. We say, and then.
I see. Yeah.
And I don't know. Then I don't know. It's a lot of things. I have offers from Katarina like every day, getting text messages like, flight tickets to there that much. So. I just have to say yes to one thing, and it's
just pick one, Rok. Pick one. Sooner or later. Wow. So Katarina is like your virtual assistant for trip planning.
Well, yeah. It's like she gets a lot of offers on the internet, or she finds them. I don't know what. But then with the planning, we actually split. It's very interesting because I try to find things differently than she does, so we actually find completely different stuff and then make a plan together. But maybe it's going to be Asia in I don't know.
Yeah, we're thinking like now we don't want to go to Americas because we've been in South America and then we've been in Mexico like half a year ago. So we're thinking either Asia or Africa to go next. But then it's always like, I don't know, like my sister is just traveling in the USA at the moment. So like, oh, but we could go to USA as well. We haven't been there yet. Like I have so many ideas.
Yeah, but still, I think that a little bit more time has to pass until we go to, Americas again, because they have this specific attitude that you have to, you get it like to a certain amount of.
Okay. What way?
No, it's very specific. Like after 9 months, we would like traveling in South America. We would either have to change the continent, or we went home because we had to switch the mindset a little bit.
I see.
It was funny that actually we met a few other travelers who also did like longer trips in South America, and they said the same, like after half a year or 1 year, like enough of Latino, now we need like either we go home or something new, like just you need a change.
Okay, that's really interesting. And you mentioned Mexico, and I remember reading your posts about like how many things went wrong when you went to Mexico. I couldn't believe, like if I wouldn't know you guys, I would thought these guys are just like completely, they've never traveled anywhere and they have the luck, but it was you guys and so many things happened. So can you just make a list of everything that happened?
Oh shit.
Or maybe just the things you can remember.
First thing, let's say this. We really liked Latinos in South America. It was perfect. We liked it. That's why we said we go to Mexico. It's an easy trip. We speak Spanish and stuff like this.
Yeah, we know Latino, like culture kind of, and we're happy to go like back to this Latino stuff. And
So I don't know. You have more like list.
What happened? A lot of things happened. I think partially it was Mexican people pandemic situation. Partially it was probably our fault because we were in a certain state of mind. Like a lot of things happened just before the trip. We were very nervous. Like also emotionally like tired, or how to say, like drained a little bit. So I think this also like affected our reactions, or maybe we would have reacted differently if we would be like super fresh, or you know. But what was going on? First thing was that we couldn't plan anything at least like 5 days before departure, because we didn't have the tickets like confirmed. They told us, because also the tickets were like a prize that Rok won with one of his photos. So it wasn't like us deciding we're going to Mexico, let's just buy tickets, you know. We'd probably do it a bit earlier. But we were waiting, you know, for the airline to confirm that we can be on that flight. And it was like, also we've been planning like, or talking with the airline for 2 months. And yeah, we got the tickets then 5 days before departure. So we made a plan, but we couldn't book like rental cars, accommodation. I mean, we could, but you know, like
you could be without, you would have to pay some advance, and you could.
So that was one thing that we, as I said, we weren't really relaxed about the whole situation, and it wasn't very well planned. And then what happened? Our luggage got lost or stuck in London. So when we arrived in Mexico, super tired, after all the flights and stuff, we had to deal with the luggage being lost. And we normally, you know, I pack some, you know, underwear or some stuff like in my hand luggage. This time I didn't, or maybe I had one, you know, fresh underwear and that's it. So yeah, we didn't have basically anything.
It's like it didn't happen before. Maybe it won't happen now. But it probably won't happen the next time also. So.
And then one really bad thing was right after we got out of the airport, we should pick up our rental car, and the guy there was terrible. Like, it was in the middle of the night already in Mexico. Now you can imagine that we were awake for more than 24 hours. And they wanted us to pay some additional insurance. And we said, no, see here, the voucher, it says everything included. Also this insurance that you're trying to sell us. No, thank you. And he goes, no, but it's $40, blah, blah, blah. And we were like, no, you know, like, we are experienced travelers. We're not going to fall for this scam. No, we are not paying, you know. And the guy was like, yes, you are paying, you know. And then we're like, no, we are not. And he was, yes, you are. I'm not giving you the car. So the thing escalated. The price also went from $40 to $130. And he was like, I'm not giving you the car. And he knew that we paid for the car. So if we walk out, we lose all the money that we already paid for the car. We didn't have Wi-Fi. We didn't have the SIM card. So, you know, we couldn't, like, I mean, we could call someone, but it would be even more expensive.
Yeah. So
we were there for 2 hours negotiating, blah, blah, blah. In the end, Rok gave up. I mean, he said, okay, just, you know, we'll pay the $40, not the $130. And yeah. We got the shittiest car. Like, we speak Spanish and we heard the guy talking after we paid to another one, like, bring the car. No, yeah, one class lower. So we got a class lower, you know, then we paid anyways. So it was a really bad start. And then what else was, I mean, then the next few days were kind of okay. We were without the car, without the luggage, without our tent, because we planned to do camping. So we had to find like last minute accommodations. I remember we found one room on Booking and there were cockroaches. I mean, we've seen them, we've experienced this, but it was just like adding up. And then another like really breaking point, at least for me, was we got a text message, your luggage arrived in Mexico City, we'll send them to the nearest airport to you. So we knew that we will have to drive to the nearest city, 2 hours away. They were like, okay, just let's get the luggage, and then the trip could really start for us. And we went to bed. In the morning I wake up to see a text message, sorry, one of your backpacks was, what do you call it? Confined, is it the word? So the customs went through our luggage without our presence, because the luggage arrived in Mexico, so they had to check it, and they found a pack of these COVID self-tests. And apparently this is strictly forbidden thing in Mexico. So they sent only one backpack to that airport. And then we had to drive, it was around 700 kilometers back to Mexico City to get the luggage. I mean, get my backpack. And I was so mad because I work in pharmaceutical company. I worked, not anymore, but I worked with this Mexican authority for importing drugs. And I knew that these guys at the customs are making up stuff. And I was telling them, no, this is not like, if I bring something to sell in Mexico or like big amounts, yes, I have to declare or need special papers. If I bring it for myself, like just, for my personal use, you cannot do it. But anyways, what I heard was like, this is Mexico, like if you like it, okay. If not, you can go home.
You can leave, yeah.
Like this attitude of the Mexicans was really shocking for us. It was really like, like this is us, we speak Spanish. If you don't speak Spanish, go home. Like, I mean, and we do speak Spanish, but when I was signing those papers at the customs, I didn't understand one paragraph. So I asked one of the guys there, can you translate or can you ask another guy who was speaking English just to explain what is this part, And they were like, no, here in Mexico, we speak Spanish. So if you don't speak Spanish, don't come here. Like exact words. And I was like, really? Like, like Johnny Bravo.
I find it shocking, really. Like you had really bad luck. And then your car got broken into? Like.
And then it was just like, things were just happening.
It was basically it was like, one day something happened and then we had like rest day or maybe 2 rest days and then something else happened.
Yes. So we had a break-in in the car and a few things stolen. Our tent got flooded because there was like a heavy rain one night and we woke up like floating in the water.
It was like a bathtub, but the water was outside. Thank God.
So I don't know what else happened. As I said, we tried to forget.
Something with the booking that you had to pay more for the room, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was also, we paid, we booked a hostel in Oaxaca. It's a city in Mexico that is very known for the Dia de los Muertos celebration. So Day of the Dead in Mexico, it's a big holiday. So it was also a funny situation. I mean, as I said, maybe it was also a bit of our fault. So there is this one Instagrammer that I'm following, and she posted like, I'm not going to Oaxaca, but I have a booking. So does any one of my followers wants to take up my reservation? I was like, yeah, me. Like we knew that it's very difficult to get the room in Oaxaca. At that time, I was like, perfect. So we took over her reservation, gave her the money. And then because there was a change in our domestic flight within Mexico, we had to check out one day earlier. So we started texting the hotel, can we change the reservation? The reservation was semi-flexible, so we could change it up to 5 days before. And we were texting and talking with the hotel and, they said, yeah, we'll deal with it, blah, blah, blah. Once we were there at the check-in counter, at the reception, they were like, no, I don't know anything about it. You should do it 5 days earlier. I was like, yeah, I was trying to, but it was like, yeah, sorry, that's it, And then when we were checking out, they said, yeah, you should be happy that we didn't charge for early checkout. It's like, we are paying $50 for a night that we are not going to use. You can sell this room, and now you want to charge us. It was just, so many stupid things happened, like really ridiculous things.
But a lot of things, were like a lot better when we came to Yucatan. Yucatan, like a part of Mexico that is like usually traveled. So a lot of things also with people, became like really better. The roads and everything, and attitude with people was like a lot better there.
So again, this is our theory, because central Mexico is also a bit higher, like it's 2,000 meters. So, maybe again, people at the higher elevation are less friendly than people in Yucatan because it's a flat land.
Someone should research this. How the altitude is the most.
I think it's mostly pandemic stuff. Everything went to extremes a little bit during pandemic, so maybe they took a wrong turn.
Yeah, and they were so like. For me, it was unreasonable things like or measures against the pandemic in Mexico. Like, you know, you can go to this archaeological area like to see the pyramids, but you cannot climb the pyramid. Why? For pandemia, like because of pandemic. Why? I mean, we are here like a lot of people close to each other, but no, you cannot go to the top. You can walk around.
No, but also one funny thing was like, you know, we were driving like maybe 200 or 300 kilometers for one archaeological site. You know, something is written in Google Maps, like it's open until, I don't know, 5 or maybe 4 o'clock.
Not Google Maps.
No, just there. And then you have their website, you know, it's written, I don't know, it's open until 3 o'clock, you know, or maybe 5 o'clock, I don't know. And then you come there and it's completely different hour. Maybe it's only until, I don't know, 12, like till noon, you know, and that happened like maybe 4 or 5 times. And then, you know, I had enough and I started calling them before we went there. And that's when, you know, actually we got to, you know, to archaeological sites on time.
Yeah. If they picked up the phone.
Yeah, but anyways, yeah.
And how tired did you come back to Slovenia after that trip? You need a vacation after a trip like this.
That's why we need a vacation now, because it was Mexico and then lots of things during winter, like with jobs and stuff. And yeah, we are now at the point that we just need like a week of vacation. Like.
Yeah, that sounds nice. Actually, we've been talking for so long that at this point we will slowly say goodbye to each other. But I just wanted to ask you if you want to say something else with the people who are watching this. I will for sure put all your social media links and your webpage down below. You also have an online shop where you sell. Rok sells his prints, and you also have some products. Like you also gave me the map of the world that you can paint. Yeah, the countries you've been to. So everybody who's listening can check that out. But if you just have any, let's say wise words for people who want to travel, especially travel as much as you do, what would be like your suggestion or some words of encouragement?
Well, I'm better with this.
I'm gonna talk for another half an hour. So.
No, it's just like I think our attitude, like mostly, it's like you always get like positive feedback from people if you give them like positive vibes when you come somewhere. It's, you know, people are naturally friendly to each other. I think that's like the zero position. It's not, you know. So if you accept this and if you try to travel like around the world with this attitude, you will get a lot of nice, friendly, smiley faces trying to help you. So I think that's like just like if you exclude Mexico. But yeah, that's like the general rule, I think.
Yeah. I don't know if I give like a practical tip. If you want to travel, just go. Like, I mean, maybe you are afraid to travel, I don't know, to a really distant place, especially if you go alone. Like, but then go to, I don't know, a little less distant place. Like, go to Italy first, go to Austria first. See how it feels when you get like some experiences, and you also get courage and like we call it mileage, you know, like you know what to do, how to behave. Then I mean, then you can go further. And
yeah,
I mean, in my opinion, traveling is like what gives me, like, what makes me happy, what gives me motivation for every day. So if that's something that makes you happy, don't hesitate. I mean, like, yeah, there's global warming, there are wars. So if you get the chance, go to some place, go now, because you don't know what's going to happen next year or something.
Yeah,
you know?
No, it's true. We all saw what happened with the pandemic. Nobody thought that the world can actually like stop for a period of time. So. Well, thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Very nice to talk about all those things. And for all listening, see you in the next hot beverage chat. Actually, now it's ice beverage chat. So bye.
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 Hello.